Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the What the Football channel. This is the BH and Scrubber Show. And on today's show, we're going to be previewing the upcoming divisional playoff game, the Washington Commanders versus the Detroit Lions. And that is going to be in Detroit on Saturday night, I believe around 8 o'clock. So be sure to join us here at the What the Football channel because we do a live reaction show, play-by-play show hosted by yours truly. And of course, BH will be in the live chat. So please join us. It's always a lot of fun and we're really looking forward to it. It took us a long time to get here and I'm excited. What about you, BH?
Yeah, man, it's been an amazing run. Nothing we expected, but it's been a great ride. Who
Mm-hmm.
cares, right?
Yep.
Every year someone explodes to the top, someone's worst to first. So it was our turn. But yeah, I mean, it's just been fantastic. We even talked about, gosh, just crawling into the playoffs, even if we lost, would be so good for this roster, this team, considering everywhere they came from. And it'd be
Mm-hmm.
a sad day if we lost to the Bucks for sure. But heck, man, it would have still, if you look back at the season, you'd be, oh, man, we never could have expected that. Well, here we are again.
Yep.
And here we are against Detroit. And man, what a team to be playing. Whew, number one seed for a reason.
Yep.
And you talk about a team they played 3 playoff games last year, did like us, man. They won the wild card, won the divisional, and then had that great lead. We were talking about it against San Francisco, and then things kind of fell apart at the end. But that experience just made them tougher and stronger. This is a tested roster. All these guys played together. All these guys were there last year for those playoff games. Practically the whole roster, the coaching staff, the head coach. So they're all coming back after that disappointment, and they learned from that. And I tell you, one thing they learned is we do not want to go on the road for the playoffs. We're not going to San Francisco. We're going to keep it all at home. And they did it. So they are playing at home. So here we are going up against this behemoth. It's going to be our toughest test for sure. But this is a team that we can beat. You know what I mean? We can beat them. It's really true. And especially this team that just never seems to give up. We talk about it. There's no giving up. There's no finger pointing. There's none of that stuff. Fight to the end. Even in some of our losses, we never quit. But looking at this defense that we have to go up against, they looked really good against Minnesota, pretty dominating. They have a great Aaron Glenn is a fantastic defensive coordinator. He was a great football player too, as it happens. Real good football player. And so they've had some injuries actually on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And over the weeks, I mean, you kind of look at not just Aiden Hutchinson, but I mean, Alan McNeil, some of their interior guys, lost a linebacker, some of their corners. But one thing about this team is constructed in a way that we want to be constructed, where your depth is strong and your depth knows the scheme, your depth knows what's going on. That's what in the coming years, that's what the Commanders want to do. We have a full roster. So I don't think they're really hurt that much by that. Their backups are really good. They know what they're doing. They know how to run their scheme. So this is going to be a challenge. I think we can run on this team. I don't think it's going to be like Tampa Bay where we have to totally avoid running between the tackles. I think we can do a lot of what we were doing, spreading the ball to the outside, some quarterback runs, kind of trying to keep them honest to the outside. But if B-Rob and this line can work together, and they're going to have to, I think they can get some yardage up the middle on these guys. And man, they pretty much have to, or they'll send the dogs, you know. And Jaden's done a great job. He's actually a much improved pocket passer as the season went on. He went from a guy who just kind of spooked and ran quite a bit to a guy who stayed in the pocket quite a bit. But that's not going to last, and he can't just run all over the place trying to save things. So we, like you say, We got to establish that run. I think
Yeah.
it can be done. I mean, I think we can attack them at different levels. There's a very good defense, don't get me wrong, but I think there are ways to go after them. They've got some real good. They've got some good safeties. I'll tell you that right now. You're going to see it's a Brian Branch who's
Yeah.
really good. They list him as a corner. I think he kind of a jack of all trades, but the one guy, man, Kirby Joseph, he's just a monster safety. He got left out of the Pro Bowl somehow. He's PFF's number one guy. And it's not just on PFF. Just watch how he plays,
Yeah.
his interception. So I think that's going to be tough with the center of the field, Jack Campbell and him and Branch. Man, they got the middle of the field pretty controlled as far as the passing game goes. So anyway, I think we can make headway against these guys. It's going to be a hell of a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, I'll start with the defense. Our best defense is starting with an offense that can control the ball for a good amount of time. I believe the Lions are the number one time of possession team, first or second. They got first and second a lot of things: yards per game, rushing yards per game, passing yards per game, third downs per game. They're in the top five in every single thing there is. So we did great. I thought we did great last week. Offense, 97-yard drive, 70-yard drive, 80-yard drive, and that eats up the clock and gives our defense a rest. So that's number one for me. The next thing would be like they've got a great offense and they've got I love Dan Campbell. I love that kind of coach, the bite him in the kneecap stuff, and he never gives up. And they're like us. They'll go for it on fourth. It doesn't matter. 4th and 20. Who cares? They're going to go for it and they're going to try trick plays. So they're going to date that. They'll pass to Penei Sewell, their right tackle. You know what I mean? And then have him throw it downfield or something. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. So they want to win this. And so our defense has to be ready. They have Jared Goff as their quarterback. He's obviously very, very good. I don't think he's as much of a run threat as we're used to. So that's kind of good for us. Our run defense is a little sketchy. So that's helpful. But they've got Jahmyr Gibbs as the running back, and I believe they've got David Montgomery is back.
He's back.
He's back. So he's just tough as nails. He doesn't care. He's just you want him to run it up the middle and just smash. That's what he's going to do, and he's going to get the yardage. So him and Jahmyr Gibbs, and Gibbs can catch it out of the backfield too. He's a dual threat there. And then they've got Sam Laporta. He's their tight end, and man, he's a threat. He's like our guy Zach Ertz. When you need him, you need that one or two plays that you absolutely have to have. That's where they're going to send Laporta. He's good in the red zone. He'll catch that touchdown pass when you need him. They've got their wide receivers are Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and Tim Patrick.
Tim Patrick.
Tim Patrick is doing, man, them guys are unreal. So we're really going to have to corral those guys, get some pressure on Goff. Goff is really good. This whole team is just incredibly, incredibly good. But we are, the Commanders are incredibly, incredibly lucky. So we're going to count on that. I mean, the last 5 games have all been won on like the last play. The last conceivable play you could possibly do. And that, last week, of course, was insane. Zane Gonzalez doinking it. Oh my God, fixing his freaking hair. So putting on his helmet. So, but I think we can stop them. We can, they're going to run on us, but I think our defensive backs can slow down their passing game. So if our offense can get out ahead a little bit, and put them a little bit behind and make them pass it a little bit more, that's about our best road to winning this game. So it behooves our offense to really, it's going to be a tough game. Some people say it's going to be like a high-scoring game. I'm not so sure about that. And people always say that about some of these teams, but defenses stepping up and just shut down offenses. So we're going to need every single point we can get. Some of these fourth downs that we feel like we should go for, I'm willing to take 3. We'll see, depending on how it's going. If it's only, 6-3 by the end of the first half, you might want to start taking those field goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it just comes down to just scraping points. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I love the Lions. I love what they've been doing. They went from a zero to a hero in just a year or two. Who was it? Houston, I think last year went from zero to a hero with their guy, and we've done it this year. And so look at Houston's in the playoffs. Lions are in the playoffs. We are in the playoffs. So turnarounds can be done, and we've got to give kudos to our owner and to our general manager and to our coach and offensive coach, defensive coach, and our special teams coach and all our assistant coaches, man, and the front of the house and the back of the house and all those people that support this team. Like you said, it's a mix of people just came in 1 year. And you can't have a turnaround like that unless you really got quality people in the front of the house, in the back of the house, making things happen. A good example of that was when I think we went to Cincinnati to play the Bengals, and we were supposed to go to Arizona like the next week on a short week, and they just said, screw it. We're going to pay for your hotel rooms. We're going to pay for all your food. We're going to pay for everybody to go to Arizona, and you guys can go and you can practice. That way you don't have to go home, practice, and fly back out there and do it again. That's what a good front of the house does for your team. And it shows. We made it to the playoffs. And so I'm really excited about this game. I think we can beat them. And I look forward to Saturday at 8:00 and calling this game and having another heart attack.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, man. I think we can. I think I'm just excited to watch our guys play at this level.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to, it is. It's crushing as your team moves through the playoffs and when you lose. I'm sure Detroit fans know that last year. I mean, to get to that point and lose, we know how that is. But really standing back, taking the big picture look, to watch your team at this level is such a great thing. I hope we can really enjoy it. It is what it is, and our guys have, and we really have. We say they got lucky, and many times they have, but they always put themselves in a position to win on that last drive. So let's hope they can keep that luck alive. And if it comes down to our guy Zane, and he's got to do his whole thing and change his shoes and whatever it takes, man. I don't care. Just put it through the uprights and then send us to the conference championship. That's what I want.
Me too. Yeah.
Yep.
We cover it all?
We did.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to Saturday. BH, see you there. And thanks, everybody.